Good morning, and here we are on lesson 3 already, which is our maths mental and our maths concept for the week, which is BODMAS. So back we go into the learning place, Edge Studio. Up the top to the maths overview. Once again, if we click on the overview, it will give us a quick rundown of what we need to do, and you can have a read of that, which is completing maths mentals and doing a quick lesson where I'll show you how to access those. So let's go straight into maths mentals for week 1. This one over here is from Monday to Thursday, and this is Friday's quiz that we can also do together, or you can go ahead and try and have a go, and that basically revises any concepts we've done in maths mentals for the week. When you've done all that, there's some additional fun activities that you can do after the lesson just to practice some of these skills. A little number game, a division, and a number fact multiplication. When you've done it for today, whichever question you found really tricky or you had no idea until I explained it, if you can just do a little asterisk next to it and then come back and just click which ones you found a bit tricky. If you didn't find any of them tricky, click that one. If not, vote and then submit your vote. Okay, you can download it for the week, and I've done that and put it on your desktop. Now when you download it, it comes out sideways like this, so what you need to do is go up to view, click on view, go rotate view, and you just go anti-clockwise 1 and it takes it back like that, and then of course you can blow it up to make it really easy. The next thing that we need to do is we need to head up our page. So what I want you to do first of all is your name at the top. Make sure that's there so when you photograph it, you can print this out if you've got a printer at home and just put your name on it, photograph it and send it in for each day, or if it's in your workbook, this is how I want you to head it up. Week 1, Monday, the 20th of April 2020, and we're doing a math lesson. So there you go, that's how you head it up for today. And don't forget, as we're going along, you can pause at any stage. You can go ahead if you're finding it easy, but if you could please photograph and send your work in so that I can put it in your folder and give you star points for the day. Okay, so time's the first one. Obviously you can see the time down here that I'm doing this lesson. That's why I was a bit sleepy this morning when I got up and did my first one. But just have a look at a clock, an actual analog clock with the hands. There's one behind us here. We should use that one. But for the time now, whenever time you are doing this lesson, if you have a look at the hour hand and see the shorthand, which number it is on or has gone past, that's your first number. So say that I'm looking at a clock now and it's just gone past 6 o'clock, so that's my first number. And then my minutes, I count round the longhand how many minutes around, and I'll write the time in. And if it's before 12 o'clock in the morning, at lunchtime it's AM, and if it's after 12 o'clock midday, then it's PM, ante-meridian and post-meridian. So that's not the answer now because you might be doing this at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you write your answer in for whichever one it is. Then 8 times 5, you can count that on your fingers. There's 8 of those, so you just count in 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 2, 8, and write it down. I'm not going to tell you the answer, that one's too easy. Okay, number 3. If a clock shows that it's 9 o'clock well, let's say 9 a.m., is the angle between the two hands of the clock, is it 45, 90, or 9? So let's very quickly draw the clock so I can explain this to you. We're going to be doing angles this term. There's our clock face, and I'll just very quickly 12, 6, 3, 9, 1, 2. That's a really quick way to draw a clock face in the middle. Now 9 o'clock, so our minute hand is all the way up the top. I could have drawn this clock for the first question and asked you what time it was. And there's our hour hand over here. So we're talking about the angle between the hands here. Now we know how many angles are in a circle. 360. So if we halve that circle, how many do we have then? It's 180. And if we halve that 180 again, on each quarter of the clock, there is 90 degrees. So here it's 90 degrees between 9 and 12. It's also called a right angle, isn't it? Okay, pi. Ooh, I should have opened this before. I forgot about this. Some of you might not have even heard of pi before. If we talk about the perimeter of a square or a rectangle, we are talking about if we ran around the outside of it and we knew what these sides were, we would add them all together to get the perimeter. A circle is a little bit different because it doesn't have any sides. So if we ran all the way around a circle, like the oval, we wouldn't say what's the perimeter of that. We would say what's the circumference. And the circumference means pi. Okay, I'm going to show you a really, hope I can find it easily, quick video that will explain that. And I found it on pi. I found that on Wiki. It had a really short little video that I thought explained it really well. I'll just shrink me down. And this is where distance learning is really good, because as soon as you don't understand something, you can have a quick Google, which you really wouldn't be able to do in the classroom as easily as what you could do sitting in front of your device. That's not what I'm looking for. Circumference, Wikipedia, that might have it. Yes, it does. Okay. So it's this little video here. This is great. And this is showing that if you have a circle and it's like you're unrolling it like a ball of ribbon, how many sides it would have. And they say that pi actually means that if you unroll a circle, it has 3, and they say it's 3.33, and that's actually what pi is. And it doesn't matter how big the circle is, if you unroll that, get its shape and unroll it to make it a flat line, it has 1, 2, 3, so 3.33. So the question in our Maths Mentals is, pi is approximately 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if we look at that and we can see that pi is 1, 2, 3, here we go again, ooh, not even halfway, not even near 4, what is the answer going to be? Is it going to be closer to 3 or is it going to be 4? It's definitely not 2 and 1, so you can write your answer down there. Okay, so adding fractions now. When we add, we don't change the bottom denominator. We add the top ones and we put it over, and then we adjust the fractions as we need to. A really good way to remember this, I keep changing this, is that if we write it up, and this fraction is 4/5 plus 4/5, we can do this. It's got the same denominator, so we can just put it underneath. So 4 and 4 is 8, and we put that over 5, but that's not right. That's an improper fraction. The number at the top is way too big. So we say, how many 5s in 8? That's 1. How many left over? 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. And of course we use the same denominator 1 and 3/5. So that's our answer there. Write 1 million as a numeral. Well, it's 1, and that's a million, so it has 6 zeros. So write that one in. Remember, pause if I'm going too fast. $20, take away $3.50. Now you can do that as a vertical subtraction if you wish. And I can walk you through that now. So you can say 0 take away 0, 0. 0 take away 5, can't do that. So we go to next door and we say 0. Look, I can't do that one either. So we go next door again, 2. So we cross out the 2, make it into a 1, jump over here, 9, because we're going to use that 1 straight away, and then pop the 1 over here. So 10 take away 5 is 5. Put your decimal place in. With money, there's only 2. Okay, your 10s and your 1 cents. 9 take away 3 is 6. And then 1, so $16.50 is our answer. The other way we could have done it is we just go $20 take away 3, so 19, 18, 70. 50 cents is half, so we take away another 50 cents, that's $16.50. 2 to the power of 3 means this, that we're just timesing that number like that. If it was to the power of 4, we'd put another one in. Okay, but it's to the power of 3. And then we just say 2 times 2 is 4, then 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? Then the next one is, are the triangles congruent or similar? Now, similar means they're the same shape. Yes, they are the same shape. They're triangles. Congruent means they're the same size. They have the same capacity. So are these triangles the same size? So you write in whether they're congruent or similar. What is the area of a square with 4 centimetre sides? Area is very easy. Where we did perimeter, which is the outside running around the outside, with area we're talking about inside. So if we had to carpet that area or clean that area even. So the area was 4 centimetres, so that means that every single side is 4 centimetres. So area is side by side. That's the rule for it. So we go 4 centimetres times 4 centimetres, and the answer is, you guys can have a look at that. But when you write your answer, make sure you do squared. Okay, I'll give you a minute, pause me and then come back. So 4 fours is 16, so we write 16 centimetres, and over the centimetres we do squared because we're doing the area inside. Okay, like on the back of a trailer if we load it up with something and it fills it up. Okay, next one. 2/3 multiplied by 3. That's another easy one. We don't touch the denominator. The only time we do is when we get the answer and it's an improper fraction. So we go 2/3 multiplied by 3, but we pop it over 1 and we say 2 3s are 6, and we just 3 1s are 3. We can't leave it like that. That's an improper fraction. So 3 into 6 goes 2. So that's our answer. Remember, pause before I get to the answer if you think you know how to do it, and then just check the answer with me. We're going to simplify 5/10. Easy peasy. All you have to do is work out what goes into both numbers. You do that. Now the answer, 5 goes into 5 once and into 10 twice, so it is half. Okay? Name this shape if you want to pause and Google that, but you may know because these are the desks that we have up the back that we joined together. One side shorter than the other with sloping sides, and it is a trapezoid, spelt like this, trapezoid. Okay? Is 213 divisible by 3? What are we actually asking there? Divisible. We're saying, can it be divided by? So 213, remember with division we do the little box and put what we're dividing by on the outside. And division is the only equation or word number sentence where you don't start at the ones, you start at the closest one. Does 3 go into 2? No. Does 3 go into 21? Yes, it does, 3 times. And does 3 go into 3? Yes, it does, 1. So it's 31. Oh, sorry. 3 go into 21? Yes, it does, 7 times. And then does 3 go into 3? Yes, it does once. I got my multiplication muddled up. If I was in class, someone would have yelled that out. I'm glad I realised that. Okay, then 10% of 100. Well, percentage is the whole circle is 100%. If we split it in half, it's 50. If we quarter it, because half of 50 is 25. So if we say that 10% of 100, then the answer is 10. If we say 20% of 100, then the answer is 20. 3 3/4, does it equal 3 or 4? So if we split up a circle, we already have 3 already, but we split up this circle into 3/4. We colour in 3 of them. We've nearly got 4, haven't we? So that's the answer to that one. Up to 18. Measure this line. Okay, have a go. I think it'd be about 1 centimetre. Try and be really precise and go 1 point whatever millimetre it is. And 24-hour time, if it's 6 p.m, so when the time goes past 12 midday and it goes into the PMs, for 24-hour time we add another 12 hours because we're not telling times in 12-hour chunks, we're telling them in 24-hour chunks. So 6 o'clock, we've already gone past midday, so we add another 12 hours, so 12 plus 6 is 18. So that would be, and we write it like this, 1800 hours. So 7 o'clock would be 1900 hours. And when it gets to midnight, you can say that that's 0, 100 hours. Some people say 2400 hours, and then when it rolls around to 1 a.m. it starts again. Okay, so what's the lowest common denominator for 1/2 and 1/5? Lowest common denominator means the number that both of these denominators can fit into, so 2 and 5. So can they both fit into 8? Can they both fit into 10? Or can they both fit into 20? Which one's the lowest one though? And 4 take away 0.2. Now decimals sometimes trick everybody up, but we have to remember this is the whole number 4, and to work out what it is when we take away 0.2, we have to put in the tenths. So remember on a chart, after the decimal, it goes tenths, 20ths, hundredths. Okay, so making up this tenth is 10 parts of that. So if we take away 2, that becomes 8. But then we have to adjust this to show that this tenth has lost 1. So this becomes 3.8 because we've taken the 2 off it. Okay, that's it for Maths Mentals, and we'll have a look at what it is tomorrow very, very quickly. And remember, just when you've done that and you've numbered it 1 to 20, you'll probably, if you messed it up today, don't worry about it. Just photograph what you've done, but now you know the format that will do it. You can see how we'll do it. You'll know to jump on and pause as we go. Give yourself a chance to answer it if you're really not sure, or you know most of it, but you just want to go back and check one. Okay, so if we jump back into Ed Studio and we have a look at the actual lesson. So we go down to Maths Week 1, click on that. And we're doing BODMAS. So BODMAS is an order of operation. So where we would normally just do an equation, and we're talking about a linear or vertical equation, and we'd start on the left and go all the way to the right, we can't do that because the answer is not going to be correct. So what we have to do is have a rule for how we're going to do it. So it's BODMAS. So we look at the brackets first. So in this equation we would start here, and then we have to look at the order of the operation. And the most important one that we start with is division, then multiplication, and then we do addition and subtraction last. Now there's a little video here that explains it, so you can pause me now and go in and have a look at that video. And when you finish looking at that, come back and we'll have a look at the activity. Okay, I assume you've looked at the video. So over here, we've got a little activity that we're going to do now, and then tomorrow we're going to jump into this booklet and complete that from Tuesday to Thursday. So this first one is just a little PowerPoint, and it's showing us about BODMAS. So they're saying that going through that booklet we're going to practice some, but here's one here which we can now use our BODMAS principle to explain it. So we can't really go from left to right. We've got to apply our principles. So the first one is brackets. Are there any brackets? No. So now we're going to have to look at order, and the first one is division. So is there a division one there? Now 30 over 5 or 30th fifth, that's a division because it's asking us how many times 5 goes into 30. So technically we could put brackets around that one and do it first. 30 divided by 5. So I've written that there. And then it says plus 4 times 2. So we can do the 4 times 2 bit next and put brackets around there, and then the 4. So 30 divided by 5 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. And then we add the 4. So we go 6 plus 4 is 6 plus 8 is 14. And then we add the 4. 6 plus 8 is 14, sorry. And then we add the 4, and that is 18. So we split that up. We did the division first, then we did the multiplication, then we did the addition to get 18. We are used to solving problems working from left to right, but all problems have been easy. That one was easy, and now we're going to start looking at some more complex problems. You can write this one down in your book so you know how to do it. And now, if you're still confused, you can click on this video link here. It takes 10 minutes, and you can just have a look at the video, which will explain it better. And this is the problem that we just did. So remember, we bracketed that, said 30 divided by 5, because division comes first, then multiplication, then we added them, and then we added the 4. So 6 plus 8 is 14, plus another 4 is 18. Okay, then tomorrow we're going to have a look at this booklet and we're going to work through it. But that's it for the maths lesson today. That's a bit of a quick one because you're getting used to it. So that ends our maths lesson, and there'll be a fourth lesson, really quick explanation on how to do the fun activities. Thanks.